dad shot this. He had loads of these on the walls. Tigers, fucking antelopes, everything. I took them all down after he died. I don't really see the point in shooting animals for fun. I don't really see what's fun about it. This wolf came from Bavaria in Germany, and I'll tell you why I've left this up there, because there's a story behind it. I've heard this before. Me too. Not everyone has. What's the story? Me and my dad were in Bavaria, yeah. And we were out in the forest. He was hunting. I was only a kid, maybe 14 I think, and we had a gun each because he was teaching me to shoot, not animals by the way, just shoot stuff like trees and other targets. Like he would fucking shoot anything, my dad. And he was out looking for deer because they have these massive stags out there and everyone wants to shoot one for some reason. Anyway, we came across a pack of wolves and they were massive. I mean proper massive. Look at the size of that. And that was one of the small ones. Yeah, bollocks. Anyway, and they were like proper unintimidated by people. They just looked right at us. I remember their eyes glowing in the darkness of the trees. This story gets more ridiculous every time I hear it. Yeah, whatever. Anyway, my dad shot up into the air and most of them scattered, but this one just looked at us like with a fearless expression and started walking towards us. So I pointed my gun at it and so did my dad. It was walking towards us with a real menacing intention. Would have ripped us apart. And they would have all come back, and fucking it got to about as far as that window and I could literally feel its breath. I looked at my dad and we just looked at each other and I just thought to myself, there's only one thing for it, fill this motherfucker full of lead. So I unloaded both barrels into the front of its body and it just carried on staggering forward. My dad unloaded both barrels into it as well, and it still continued to stagger forward towards us like it was meant to kill us, and then it collapsed on the floor. We were like 8 feet from death. I don't go out into the forest much now. There's something human about it. It seems like it's laughing at us. I don't know about that. If you look into its eyes, it's more like a look of hatred, like it's possessed or something. Perhaps he was more than just a wolf. More than a wolf. What are you on about? Perhaps it was a person. A werewolf. A what? A werewolf. Legend has it they're humans who turn into wolves whenever there's a full moon. The only way they can be killed is with a silver bullet. This is such a fascinating subject. Do you really think it could have been a werewolf? No. I shot it myself with ordinary lead bullets, and so did my dad for that matter. Victor, you're something of an expert yourself on the human mind and psyche, aren't you? And of course your father went very far indeed in his study of split personalities, didn't he? Yes, he did. So what do you think about the myth of the werewolf then? Do you think it's possible that such things exist? Anything is possible. We can't explain everything. We're all just flesh and blood. Wolves, humans, just different mammals. I could be a werewolf myself. I think it's time to hit the road. Already? Another beer? Nah, I'm drunk enough. Have a good honeymoon, guys. I'll telegram you when we get back. Take it easy. I'll tell you what, I'm seriously looking forward to this trip. I'll return to my birthplace, walk the streets of my village that I haven't seen since I was 7, and visit my parents' grave. Valley Vista is the name of my village. Does this get interesting? Not really. I was only a little kid when I left there, but I still remember the place so well. I guess I always will. I'll always have a sort of bond with that place because it's my homeland. I know I've lost the accent. I can't wait. Well, I hope you have a fantastic time, both of you. Try not to cry, won't you? I don't want to hear of any soppy show of emotion out there. Yeah, well, don't forget I'm Transylvanian, and a Transylvanian never forgets their homeland. That's a Transylvanian cliche. A honeymoon in Transylvania, in the Carpathian Mountains. It's not very romantic exactly, is it? It was her idea. She wants to see the place and visit it for herself. Yeah, I suggested it actually. Sounds like a fascinating place, and he can go back to his roots. From what I've heard about it, sounds fantastic. Sounds sort of mysterious and wild. Should be cool. Don't forget to take a cross and some garlic. Yeah, take some steaks and hammers with you, won't you? Grow up, guys. That's all a load of childish ghost stories. We had better go. Write to us when you get back. That went well. I think it's safe now. Yeah, they're probably all tucking into those horses. Let's get moving. Are we anywhere near your village? We are actually quite close. Thank fuck for that. Not like there's a great deal of signage either, to be fair. No, but I know where we are. I wasn't expecting to be travelling this late into the evening, to be fair. I think that was a mistake. Can say that again. At least we're still alive. They ripped those fucking horses apart. I've never seen anything like that. It wasn't like there was that many of them either. There was about 12. They were fucking massive though. Maybe a few more on the periphery. Small ones. I wasn't scared of those. Bullshit. I was the one who went back for the suitcases, chicken. And you had the best gun. Fair play. I was thinking, fuck the cases. Yeah. Stay in the middle of the road and keep your finger on the trigger. Too fucking right. Any wolves in the vicinity get filled with lead this time. This was a shit place for a honeymoon. It was a shit time to be travelling through a forest, that's for sure. There's a house there. I'll say we ask how close we are to Valley Vista. Me too. Hope it's very close. At least there won't be any wolves in the vicinity. Yeah, and I think it is close. I think I recognise this. Let's ask anyway. This is officially the worst. Ah! Whoa, what the fuck? Fuck off. Ah. I'm sure he understood that. Whoa. This is officially the worst honeymoon in history. I think it's safe to say that's the worst of it now. I should fucking hope so. The sooner we get to that village, the better. Let's walk quickly and hope this fucking village exists. It does exist. I think it's just over there. I hope you weren't actually going to shoot that nutter. I don't want you going down for murder out here. Then this really would be the shittest honeymoon in history. Of course I wasn't going to shoot him. I hope they're not all like that. Fuck knows what would happen to him. This is like a fucking nightmare. This is more like it. Told you it existed. Great bar, great room, pretty shit journey, fucking journey to be fair, but this is what I'm talking about. Can I get you guys a drink? You can get me one. Me too. 2 beers. Is that nice? You've got the same drink. Yeah, it's cold at least. So how are you travellers like in Transylvania? Actually, to be honest, we've encountered a few, shall we say, bizarre scenarios on the way here. Among other things, we met this guy out in the woods on the road. He seemed a bit, well, mad. He came out of the old house on the corner. That was Bella. Everybody's afraid of him. Stay away from that house. What happened to him? Do you believe in the undead? Maybe. He was once a rich and powerful baron, a respected noble in these parts. He lived on a big estate in the middle of the forest, now a completely abandoned set of ruins. But in the winter of the Great Storm, over 10 years ago now, he had a horrifying encounter with the spirit world, after which he was left a gibbering lunatic. The villagers believe he was attacked by the devil himself. Legend has it that one night he was visited by a set of evil spirits under the command of the devil, and the forces of hell were unleashed on him. His own dogs were set against him, and he was savagely mauled. His face now unrecognisable. Finally he went mad. He now wanders around out there like a soul in torment. He has lost everything. He certainly scared the shit out of us. There are worse things you could have run into out here than him. What? The forces of hell? Be warned, traveller. When the sun goes down, people around here stay indoors, with their doors and windows bolted. Okay. What a nutter. Just keep the beers coming and keep the bullshit to a minimum, mate. What are you doing tomorrow? Having a long line for a start. Would you guys be able to get the horse carcasses and get the carriage back up here? Of course. The carcasses will have gone. There'll be nothing but bloodstains in front of that carriage tomorrow. Yeah, we just want to get the carriage back, and then we can arrange a different one to go back on Wednesday to the port. Then he wants to visit the cemetery and to see his parents' grave. That's the main reason we came here. Though this is a really cool place and I wanted to see it as well. Yeah, I thought I'm 32 now. I left here when I was 7, and if I don't visit now, I never will. Do you know what I mean? Which cemetery do you want to visit? I don't know. I thought the old one or the new one? Well, my parents were buried 25 years ago when I was 7. Then it's the old one. The new one was built 15 years later, just after the Great Plague. Don't visit that cemetery. Why not? In that cemetery, the dead rise from their grave to attack the living. Dreadful things have happened there. Right. The old cemetery is in the grounds of the Black Castle. The man who lives there is a monster. He is the abomination responsible for what happened to the man you met tonight. He is a werewolf and the son of a witch. I strongly advise you not to go there. a werewolf. His name is Valdemir, the Count Danitsky. We just call him the Count. He commands evil forces from those castle grounds, and the witch who lives with him prowls the night sky, preying on the children of this village. They are the reason that we do not go out at night. Believe me, the things you've seen on your way here are nothing compared to the horrors that haunt this village. Stay inside at night and stay away from that cemetery. I'm wetting myself. Yeah, yeah. You know, I was thinking then, if he squeezes your throat for one more second, I was going to step in. Thanks. But what a load of bollocks. Yeah, right. I don't know who's more mental, that bloke in the forest or him.